I'm the most yellow white guy I've ever met, dude.
Yeah.
It's terrible,
And
but
I found out
it's true.
Some of your accolades lately, like you've been written about a lot in food blogs.
Thanks, man.
You've won
Mostly for Asian food, which is weird. Oh, I'm not famous, man. I'm just some fat ass who cooks food in Long Beach. I don't know, man. It's cool. You know, it's cool to see people to recognize you for your work. You know, that's nice. Helps put butts in the seats. It's kind of weird being like people like Anita and other bloggers and writers being like, oh, this guy cooks the coolest Asian food, and he's a white guy. I don't think that's like, I don't think that should, it's very nice people say that, but I don't think me being white has anything to do with that, other than I like eating Asian food, so I like study it and I get into it, and then the result is just making delicious stuff. I don't know, I was that weird kid who like want to go to the Mexican market when I was a little kid, and wanted to go to the Japanese market, so.
How did that kind of happen?
I mean, the reason I'm like so into Asian food, like I was saying, I'm a weird kid. Like I just always liked eating it. Like even at like being a small child, like some of my earliest memories are like hanging out with my older brother in Japantown and just eating and going to markets at like 4 or 5 years old, visiting my brother Joel. And so I was always that kid who was like into anime and so that just like sort of turned into like I want to know more about this stuff and more about Asian cultures. It started with Japanese, and then when I was 16, 17 years old, I got really into Thai boxing, and so then I started learning more about Thai food, and then I worked for a man when I was 19, 20. You guys probably all know him, Dino In, Bring It On. I'm never gonna get to talk to him.
No, he doesn't want to do
No, he hates everybody.
Yeah.
But he told me he wouldn't hire me because I was a white guy. And he only hires Mexican guys. And I like begged him and bothered him, and so then I started working for him, and he's Vietnamese. And I didn't know this going to the job, but he uses like a lot of like rau rum and nettle and all these Vietnamese herbs and fish sauce and ginger. That was like the first time in a professional kitchen I've ever touched that stuff. Prior to that, it was all French food and Italian food. So that just like opened the door of like obsession for me. Like, whoa, what the f is that? Because that's delicious, and I want to know how to make it. And so since then, probably since I was 20 years old, I just buy every cookbook that I think is worth buying. I have like 350 cookbooks, and I'm a glutton for like educational punishment, I guess. I go home and just read and eat and hang out and talk to other chefs, and I try to figure stuff out. I've made quite a few friends who are Thai and Vietnamese, so then I'm like, hey, so how's your mom make that? Like, I want to know how she does that, and then they tell me. So then right now I'm like really into Filipino food.